Here's how you know, okay, that I feel like there's some sealed indictments. You know, is there 50,000? But there's definitely some sealed indictments. I feel very confident about that. And you got to kind of peek back at, like, what was that executive order that Obama passed, actually? Oh, Trump's using that. What about this other executive order? Oh, Trump's using that. You know, if we declare a national emergency, he can do that. Oh, he's already declared that. Right. You got to follow this stuff to see what the hell's going on. And there's something called military tribunals. And I want to share something with you real quick, like. Turn up the volume here. Let me pump up the volume, and get you all set right here. Here we go.
We're watching is that standing with her when the buildings fell.
So when somebody says post 9/11 that we've been at war, and it's called the war on terrorism, do you generally agree with that concept?
I do, Senator, because Congress passed the authorization for use of military force, which is still in effect, and that was passed, of course, on September 14th, 2001, 3 days later.
Let's talk about the law in war. Is there a body of law called the law of armed conflict?
There is such a body, Senator.
Is there a body of law that's called basic criminal law?
Yes, Senator.
Are there differences between those two bodies of law?
Yes, Senator.
From an American citizen's point of view, do your constitutional rights follow you? If you're in Paris, does the Fourth Amendment protect you as an American from your own government?
From your own government, yes.
Okay. So if you're in Afghanistan, do your constitutional rights protect you against your own government?
If you're an American in Afghanistan, you have constitutional rights as against the U.S. government.
Is there a long-standing...
That's
Right.
long-settled law.
Isn't there also a long-settled law that it goes back to the Eisenstrater case? I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, Johnson versus Eisentrager.
Right. That American citizens who collaborate with the enemy have considered enemy combatants.
They can be.
They
can be. They're sometimes criminally prosecuted, sometimes treated in the military.
Well, let's talk about can be. I think
under Supreme Court precedent.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a Supreme Court decision that said that American citizens who collaborated with Nazi saboteurs were tried by the military. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I think a couple of them were executed.
Yeah.
So if anybody doubts, there's a long-standing history in this country that your constitutional rights follow you wherever you go, but you don't have a constitutional right to turn on your own government, collaborate with the enemy of the nation. You'll be treated differently. What's the name of the case, if you can recall, that reaffirmed the concept that you could hold one of our own as an enemy combatant if they were engaged in terrorist activities in Afghanistan? Are you familiar with that case?
Yeah, Hamdi.
Okay. So the bottom line is, I want every American citizen to know you have constitutional rights, but you do not have a constitutional right to collaborate with the enemy. There's a body of law well developed long before 9/11 that understood the difference between basic criminal law and the law of armed conflict. Do you understand those differences?
I do understand that they're different bodies of law, of course, Senator.
Okay, if you're confirmed, and I believe you will be, what is your hope when all of this is said and done and your time is up? How would you like to be remembered?
A good dad, good judge,
good husband.
I think he's getting there.
good husband.
Thanks, Diane.
So they're asking about, these two types of law. Basically, one's military, if you will, armed conflict. And again, it was 9/11 passed. We got the Patriot Act. They could declare people enemy combatants, all that stuff. Remember, we were all up in arms. What the hell's going on? And as I said before, Donald Trump is now using the deep state's laws that they were laughing all the way to the bank in most cases. We did this. These people are so stupid. They don't know. We're going to lead them to the slaughter. And now a good guy has access to all those rules and laws. And again, you know, remember what Trump said before he even ran? He tweeted about it and said something about we got to go after these pedophiles doing these horrific things to children. That was one thing. The Georgia, or not Georgia, the governor, was it Kasich, whatever his name, Kasich, who said, I played it for you the other day, I showed you that. He's on CNN, I think. They're talking, oh yeah, when just the other day McCain was put to death, and it's like, they just continue talking. Nobody interrupted him. No one says, you mean he died of cancer in the brain? No, he was put to death, is what that governor said. Guys, we've been given a ton of hints, and we've got Q telling us all along the way. Q basically posted the time and day that John McCain would go bye-bye, one way or the other. Maybe he got lucky and he just died that day. Come on. And then I see this idiot Brennan, CIA top guy, Brennan, Bulldog. He looks like he's part of John McCain's family. Look at their faces, everything. He's like, bulldogs. These guys, their walls are crumbling all around them. Again, this is the Hail Mary. Kavanaugh, let's go after the rape allegations, and second accuser now comes forward. Third accuser, whoa, this guy's crazy. Where have you been? He's got backdated calendar entries and proof he was out of the country. He was in Germany. What are you talking about, you imbecile? That's because, again, it's fake news. It's politically motivated. It's not just politically motivated. As Hillary Clinton said for the millionth time now, if that bastard wins, we'll all hang. Imagine being on her side, in her shoes, and all her friends, and all the people you hear about these days. Oh my God, we're going to hang. And they just saw John McCain, they know about it, as the governor said, put to death. What are they doing? They got even Obama out rallying. Hey, come on, they got to vote. November, midterm. Again, he goes to liberal California. The place can handle, I think it was 7,500 people. 750 people show up. This isn't in Georgia, down south. This is California. 750 show up. That just goes to show you how few people are actually on that side, and how rigged and how screwed up and messed up these things have been for so long. Again, all you got to do is go back to Hillary Clinton parading around. We're going to here, we're going to go to Tampa, we're going to go to St. Pete, we're going to go to all these different places, and I'm going to rally. I'm talking before the election. And I'm like, we're all standing here like, there's literally 150 people in that room. She's going to Orlando, goes to Orlando, she's a little, small little area. Again, 200 people show up. St. Pete, 200 something people maybe. Wow. You look at Donald Trump, and there were tens of thousands. People being blocked off. You can't go inside. Fire marshal's order. Fire Marshal Bill says you can't go inside because there's too many people. The maximum capacity has been hit. You guys got to stay outside. How many stayed outside? Oh, about 10,000. How many show up for Hillary? A couple hundred. This was happening over and over and over. And let's not forget, the lady who lost her son in the Orlando Pole shooting shows up a couple weeks before, I think it was in July of 2016, and is giving her heartfelt speech in front of Hillary in the crowd in Arizona or somewhere, wherever the hell they were. Assault rifles, we've got to ban them, that lady. And then 2 weeks later, she's back. Hillary's in Florida, and the shooter's father comes on in and gets to sit in the VIP bleacher section right behind her, and is sitting there like with a little Super Mario look on his face like this. Shit-eating grin. Just a few people caught notice. Hey, you're the guy. Well, we didn't know he was coming. He's got an effing VIP seat. The little bleachers that they brought around everywhere Hillary went, the bleachers came with her to each event. And that was the VIPs, people cheering and the best, that was like the hype crowd. Oh, there's 10 people back there. Okay. But CNN's got her zoomed in, and she has a little mark. They said that people were telling me they had little markings on the stage that she would visually see and be like, okay, don't go past that. And then when you go that way, don't go past that one. Like, you can look like you're walking, but you can basically take, 6 or 7 steps each way, and that's it. Why? Because if the camera keeps following you over, it's going to be empty bleachers, the actual ones that are there. We need to keep the people behind you at all times to make it look like there's this huge amount of people behind you cheering you on. Everybody's happy for you. But when you're actually there, and people posted their own photos and videos everywhere, literally nobody was there. Nobody showed up. But that bleacher was there, and it was VIP access only. And that guy got to sit there, right? Again, this is all deep state stuff. It's all related. And it's becoming exposed. And as she said, if this bastard wins, we're all going to hang. So in other words, it is critical that we do absolutely anything and everything in our power to stop him. And if we can't stop him, then we've got to stop all of his appointments, because we can't let him appoint people who are going to get rid of our deep state criminals, because our deep state criminals in the court system, the DOJ, the CIA, the FBI, they're all on our side. But if he starts taking those guys out, well, we got the Supreme Court. Well, it's still 4-4 now. Well, it's fixing to be 5-4. Now what? That's the supreme law of the land. That's the supreme ruling of the land. The Supreme Court will decide. And guess how they're going to decide when this guy gets put in there? He gets confirmed. I strongly believe he will be confirmed. They can try all this deep state nonsense. We're not buying it anymore. We've seen the light. We've seen the fake news. We've seen the fake polls. We've seen all. We don't buy any of it. Again, CNN has lost, 40-something% of their viewership since just a year ago. And they were already dying a year ago. They lost another, roughly 50%. And it's only going to get worse. There will be no blue wave. Again, a brown streak in your underwear or their underwear is about as good as it's going to get. You can be rest assured Nancy Pelosi is panicking. Hillary Clinton absolutely panicking. Barack panicking. All of the former Barack administration is panicking. And this is all they've got. We've got to do everything we can to not let this guy get that Supreme Court seat. Because once he does, we are in deep shiznit. Shiznit, I should say. So, hey, I don't know about you, but I want to be with winners. And Trump's going to take us to the winners circle. Get your popcorn ready, because I think this rest of this year is going to go out with a pretty awesome bang. Ain't no retaking the House. We're going to retake the Senate too. You're going to retake a seat in Guantanamo Bay, you liberal, criminal Democrats. Take care.